Good afternoon, San Diego. You are listening to KSA Insider, and I am your host, Chris McCullough. This show is dedicated to helping you, people just like you, know the ins and outs of real estate so you can protect yourself from all the potential pitfalls and predators that are out there waiting for you to buy or sell your home. So today, I'm really excited to talk about renovating a home prior to putting it on the market. So I guess the real question is, to renovate or not to renovate? It's becoming a real big thing. I myself am an investor. I used to buy a ton of real estate off market. But as of recent, I would say over the last year and a half, it's getting extremely hard to find those types of properties in San Diego for the simple fact that most people can just renovate their own homes. And I blame TV, which is actually good because TV's out there showing all these people you can do it too. So we're going to talk a little bit about the day and try to figure out, should you renovate? Should you not renovate? So in order to help me out a little bit, I brought a couple friends into the studio today. I have Kim Steele and Mike Lowerson. Kim Steele is a team lead of Kim Steele & Associates. It's a real estate team here in San Diego. She focuses in North County, and she specializes in helping her clients get the most money for their homes by assisting them with renovations prior to actually getting them sold. And she also works with a ton of San Diego real estate investors and flippers, so she actually is knee deep in this. I also have Mike Lowerson. He is a general contractor with Lowerson and Halstead Construction here in San Diego, and he's amazing. This guy, I met him through a different renovation guy that I know that's in the area, and he's just doing really great things. So he mostly focuses in helping investors flip homes, but he also helps a lot of homeowners renovate their homes prior to getting them sold. So why is it important that you would want to renovate your home prior to getting it sold? Well, here's the simple truth. It's going to sell for more, and it's going to sell a lot faster. So that's really what we want to talk about. Good afternoon, guys. How are you?
Great. Happy
Awesome.
to be here.
Yeah. It's Labor Day. So awesome. I'm glad that I got both of you here in the studio. It is Labor Day. And even though we could or should be taking the day off, like I was supposed to be out fishing, but hey, we're here on the air and that's okay too, hanging out on ESPN. I think flipping a house is an art. And that's just me personally. I really think flipping a home is an art form. I've been doing it for quite a while. I know you guys have as well. But I think the challenge that I've seen is a lot of people, they watch a lot of TV shows and they're like, well, I can do that. So they run down to their local Home Depot and they just start buying stuff. They start putting it in and then they wonder why they can't sell their house fast and they can't sell it for enough money, or real estate agents walk in for interviews and go, oh, wow. They don't get what they think they're going to get after looking at Zillow, right? So that's what I want to talk about. So I guess let's get started right away. What would dictate, or what would be the condition where it would be right for somebody to actually renovate their home prior to listing it and selling it on the open market?
Well, I think it's important that homeowners, study carefully, and usually that indicates that they should go ahead and get a market expert involved from the beginning, whether it's an agent, whether it's a family friend who's in the business in some facet or another, really somebody who can sit down and analyze the individual market that they're in. The key that we want here is we want a $1 to $2 ratio ideally. So we don't want the homeowner to go ahead and blow the bank and then get a 1-for-1 return on their investment, or even worse, actually not make that entire investment back. A lot of the renovations that people do when they're planning to stay in the home, you don't ever get that money back. And that's okay if you're planning to stay in the home and enjoy that improvement that you did over the years. However, when you are renovating to sell, you want to do a $1 to $2 investment.
Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. For one, I want you to kind of give me an example. And the reason why is I remember I went and saw this one homeowner and we were talking and he wanted to, put in some money, get the place set up. And he loved peanut butter, like the color of it. He loved the peanut butter tile. He had peanut butter doors. He had peanut butter walls. I mean, just all sorts of peanut butter, no jelly, no color. And it wasn't even like the beige box look. It was just straight, like brownie, chunky, ugly 70s. It looked like 70s. And it was hard for me to explain to him that, yes, you like this color. And I looked at the door handle. It says, when'd you put these door handles on the door? He says, well, back in 73. And I says, well, it looks like it. It looks like it, right? So when you say $1 in, $2 out, can you give us some examples or kind of point me in a direction? What does that even mean? How do people even know what they should be putting in.
Right. Well, and again, I think that comes down to, sitting down and deferring to and consulting with a market expert, people that are keeping up with the trends of what is selling in that specific market. Because even in our own market in San Diego, what sells the fastest and what buyers are looking for on the coast is going to differ from what buyers are looking for in some of the inland areas and the city versus the country, for example. So it's important to get with a local market expert and really suss out what's going to sell. So moving on to really answer the meat of the question, they should consider renovating when those dollars are going to make sense. If the house, sometimes it's obvious, sometimes they know. I mean, the house is really, really dated. Nothing's been done since 1972. It looks like a Brady Bunch time capsule. Yes, there are definitely some things that you should do.
I love the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
I do. I'm a big fan.
There are definitely some things you should do to that home. Again, doing the right things is key. Sometimes, I talk to a lot of sellers that are really down on their home and they think that they need to just gut the whole thing and it's hideous and they hate it. And I walk in a lot of times and I'm able to put their mind at ease that, hey, this is actually fine the way it is for this particular market. And we're going to do a couple of little spruce up things to really add some pop and add some wow. And usually they're very surprised at how inexpensive those things are. And we don't have to gut anything. So it's important, again, I just can't stress enough to bring somebody in from the beginning that is going to be able to really have their finger on the pulse of what's going to get that house sold.
Okay. Right. Okay. So, you know what? I want to come to you real quick, Micah. So you basically are the guy that's putting the stuff in the house, right?
Correct.
So I want to bounce this off you. You know what's selling because this is what you do. You do it all the time. I think real estate agents and general contractors, they don't always see eye to eye. And the reason why is most times I think the real estate agents are seeing it from the perspective of, oh, well, this is pretty, this feels good. This is kind of the stuff I like. And that always concerns me because I think general contractors are the guys that they're literally boots on the ground. However, what I will say is almost every general contractor, if I've ever been to their house, it looks awful. I'm not saying your house looks awful. I haven't been there yet.
No, it kind of does.
But I've seen like most general contractors, they buy random stuff or they get it from random jobs and they just sort of like implement it into their home. So do you help people design stuff, or do you prefer that somebody comes in and looks at it design-wise? So tell me, what is your perspective?
Well, let's be real. Most contractors don't really ever want to even get involved with the design. So right. they're typically, they want out. They want everything dropped off. They want materials on site, ready to go. But with us, we're a little bit different because we actually specialize in the design aspect, with me, because I actually like to design. So with me, I get a lot involved with the tiles, the colors, the cabinets. We've been doing this for over 15 years as far as construction and design. So knowing what looks best and, budgeting and marketing, with the right materials and what we can put in is key. But the design aspect's huge because you can't always base it off personalized and what you like you said earlier. It's got to be, what's going to stay up and hold down the road years later. We stick with the colors like the neutrals and so forth, and the things that are always going to be in that have never really been outdated in this last 10 years or so.
Yeah, absolutely. So because you're the construction guy, DIY, do-it-yourselfers. What do you think about do-it-yourselfers? I have my opinion.
Well, there's a lot of things you can do yourself, and there's things that you can't do yourself. You might be able to set some tile on the floor, it might look good from afar, but is it, it's going to look good to close, or you're going to be, hitting your feet on things or whatnot. But it gets a lot more in detail than just, taking, putting a bandage on things, because the realistic, of things, it's behind the walls that really actually matter in a way, with the plumbing, the electrical.
Right.
So, if you're going to really do the remodel and you're going to get down to the nitty gritty, you got to make sure that, what's behind the walls is just as much up to date with, what's on the final image.
And I think it's important too, when you start talking about permits and all the different things that are out there that you can get into, the troubles that you get into if you just start knocking out walls. I think some people think, I just show up, I'm just going to make an open floor plan by just knocking down this wall.
Right. TV again.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they don't realize it's load bearing, and then the whole house collapses. Not that I've, I don't know if that always happens.
Permits are a big thing. Adding square footage or even, taking out structural integrity of the house, that's definitely things you want to get a contractor involved for, because you want it structurally sound and done right.
Right.
But, if you, the TV show. You see the people starting to do it themselves in the beginning, and then all of a sudden, the camera goes away, and it's that's when the professionals like us come in and we actually do the real work.
Right.
So it makes it's very misleading. It does make it look very easy, which some things are easy. I'm not going to lie. Some things are very doable by yourself.
Well, and plus they got YouTube. I love YouTube. I think there's a ton of stuff on there where I jump on. I'm like,
you can learn a lot off YouTube.
Yeah,
definitely.
There's a lot of stuff I can mess up. So my new thing recently is watching YouTube for cooking, and I made this. It smelled good dish last night, and it tasted horrible. And so YouTube probably isn't always the best thing, but I definitely think bringing on a contractor is the right way to do it.
I've had a lot of homeowners come to me and say, we are in a nightmare. We've opened up these walls. We've opened up stuff, and we see the electrical plumbing. It's all hanging, and we're like, we don't know what to do now. This is not as easy as it looks.
Right.
All the time we get this.
Well, I'll tell you what. Hey, we're going to talk some more here in a second. We got to pay the bills, so we're going to do a little bit of couple commercials, and then we'll get right back to it. KSA Insider. See you in a few.
Tycor Title of San Diego is the next generation of title companies. They offer their clients the most complete real estate services in the nation. They have 4 convenient locations in the greater San Diego area to service all your residential and commercial transactions. Tycor Title of San Diego offers you title and escrow solutions. Whether you are buying, selling, or refinancing, they have you covered. With over a century of experience, you can count on Tycor Title of San Diego. They have a solid history of servicing customers with high integrity, white glove service, and value. They also have unrivaled financial strength to back your policies. For all your real estate transactions, call Tycor Title of San Diego today at 619-260-5200.
Alliance Escrow, the most reliable and hardworking escrow team in San Diego. Buying, selling, or refinancing a home can be a stressful event, and our friendly staff here at Alliance is ready to make your home buying or selling process as smooth as possible. We strive for outstanding customer service and are very dedicated to giving top quality service to each and every sale. Alliance Escrow will provide a special discount to active and reserve service members and disabled or retired veterans as well. Whether it's residential, commercial, bulk business, or refinance, call Alliance Escrow today and let us help you close your deal as seamlessly as possible. Call 619-609-0015 or go to www.allianceescrowinc.com today. That's 619-609-0015 or www.allianceescrowinc.com. Alliance Escrow, your partners in real estate.
Labor Day weekend means Labor Day savings and a lot more color in your yard. Because right now, the Home Depot has special buys on 4-inch annuals. You get 5 for just $5. This is the easiest, most affordable way to charge into fall with a burst of backyard color. More Vingas, more Celosia, more Marigolds, all 5 for $5. And all at Labor Day savings. The Home Depot, more saving, more doing. Valid through September 11th, selection varies by store.
In important news, the first case of political discrimination against women in Mexico was resolved. The report by the federal electoral judge found there was proof of information being hidden in attempts to block the exercise of her functions. The protocol to end political discrimination against women protects the exercising of their political electoral rights. Get informed at ine.mx. With you, Mexico is more. Join National Electoral Institute, INE.
Belia Roma is a teacher and a part of the Education Reform Program from Morelos. Evaluation was a challenge for her because it was something new in her life. When she arrived at the exam, she realized that with her experience, she had the elements she needed. When the results came out, they gave her the news that she was rated as outstanding. The good things in life are not always spoken, but they count for a lot. President Enrique Peña Nieto, 4th Report, Government of the Republic. Get to know more at gov.mx/informe.
Geico presents a voicemail from your friend, Water.
Hey, it's me, Water. Look, about what happened in your apartment with a broken pipe. I just wanted to apologize for ruining all your stuff, and I hope this can all just be some me under the bridge someday. Oh, and also, I'm not paying for anything. Okay, bye.
Water never pays for water damage. Luckily, the Geico Insurance Agency makes getting coverage a snap. Visit geico.com to see how affordable renter's insurance can be.
All right, we are back. This is Chris again, KSA Insider, and we're going to start getting a little bit deeper into how you can protect yourself from contractors and agents that may take advantage of you, or how to actually make a little extra money on your house if you decide to renovate it. So right before we went off, we just kind of got into the real simple portions of it, but I want to dig a little bit deeper and roll right into what I consider to be the truth. How and what is the deciding factor? So I'm going to start with you, Kim, because I know this is something that you specialize in. And one of the things you and I were talking about, when you show up and you run into a homeowner, you literally give them 3 different prices. Is that correct?
That is correct. Because the deciding factor boils down to really 2 things. Primarily money. What is the cost, or what is the profit that they could stand to make by doing this? So money is number 1. Number 2 is time. Sometimes certain things that you're going to do to the home are actually not necessarily going to raise the value. However, they're low dollar items in most cases, and they're going to cause the home to sell faster.
Right.
And that can be a huge deal for somebody who's saddled with a large mortgage payment that's looking to get out of it, or has whatever life situation that indicates them needing to get out of that house quickly. So, that being said, I go in and I normally give 3 price points, or three comps, or however you want to say, price estimates for the sale
on what
of the
it
home.
should sell
on
for.
what it should sell for.
Right.
So I go in, and ideally I have an opportunity to see the home in its as-is state before I generate those numbers. Sometimes I don't, but usually.
So what are the 3 numbers?
The 3 numbers are as is. So if we literally just brought the photographer in the next day and did nothing, give the carpets a vacuum, take some photos, and put it on the market exactly as it is today,
right,
what would it sell for? The second number is doing some light fix-ups. So that could be anything from, some paint touch-up, getting the carpets deeply cleaned.
So like a light to medium.
A light to medium. As you know, and we debate about a lot, my religion, which is light fixtures, can immediately update.
I hate light fixtures.
But can immediately update
so
a space.
Goofy. I just think it's so much. So I've seen this. She'll walk into a house. It's like 800 square feet. And she's like, oh, it needs like 10 chandeliers. No.
Light fixtures can immediately date a home and can immediately update a home, and they're one of the cheapest ways that you can go ahead and do that. So that's like kind of the.
What about the third? That's
the medium. The third number is, which people rarely opt for in most cases. The third number that I give is the absolute full blown, like you're watching one of the TV shows, flip. I mean, we're talking about, we're going to gut the kitchen, we're going to gut all the baths, we're redoing flooring throughout the entire home, we're painting, probably exterior painting, probably some landscaping, and sometimes that does make more sense for people. It really depends on the market the home is in, the price point the home is at, and the condition it's currently in, and the individual's financial situation and what means they have to get something like that accomplished.
So that's basically like the after repair value, right?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. So, Micah, this is where we start getting into you. You know, you're the guy that's going to come in and do the light to medium to full gut.
Right. And it necessarily doesn't always have to, a full gut, people get confused. It can be from top to bottom, they think it's ripping off drywall and everything, or, ripping out all their cabinets, which isn't necessarily the case. Depending on the condition of the house is really what it's based off. And like Kim said, lighting, painting, baseboards, flooring can go a long ways.
Right.
And it's very cost efficient. Now, if we get into a kitchen, which kitchen and baths are, huge things on the selling point for a home. So, typically if we can save cabinets, we like to save them and reface them and make them look brand new again.
Yeah, that's become a really hot thing, and I think it looks fantastic.
And that gives you extra money, say, an extra $5+ grand to take that money from, new cabinets and put it somewhere else, like into a bathroom, with some like a tiled tub surround, or, new flooring somewhere else.
Some people, I want to bounce this off you, because some people are confused when you talk about resurface, reface. Some people think they just show up, they go to Home Depot, they buy some white paint, they paint the cabinet, and then it's just good. So can you give?
And that's almost like a DIY, in a way.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Take some paint,
it's rare when it actually looks right. And the reason why, so this is my take. If your house was built in the 90s, 80s, or 70s, you're going to have usually the contractor special cabinets that are in there to begin with. You're going to have arches, which are immediately dated, and you're basically throwing white paint on probably still the core of it. The structure of it is good wood, but it just doesn't look right.
Yeah, you add layers and layers and layers of paint, and then they start, stuff it's not working the same. It's sticking.
Right. So what's the difference between what is resurface and reface?
Yeah. So we got we got resurfacing, which you want to the right way. Sand it all down. You want to revarnish everything, respray them, a whole new paint job, and they look new again. Or there's depending on what the frames of the cabinets are like. If you can keep the existing frames, if they're built out of solid wood, MDF, those are things to look for. So if you can keep the original frames and get all new doors and drawers, that's refacing.
Doors, drawers, and pulls, right?
Yeah, and you could save huge money on just that, and you're taking a brand new blank door and you're refinishing it to any color of your desire. What's in espresso, white, and you keep the same layout, because changing layout, if you want to put a fridge over here and the stove's location, and put the stove where the fridge is, that's where that gets pretty costly, because you're moving plumbing, electrical, all those big factors in a house.
Right. Quick question, Kim. Favorite cabinet color? Real fast.
Right now, white.
I love white.
See, I hate white.
White's great.
This is a great example of personal taste. I mean, if I was building a home today, because I tend to be someone who follows the trends, I would probably put in white cabinets, knowing that 5 years from now I'm going to change them, because that's what I do. I change stuff. But, personal taste, you don't like it, but if you were renovating your home to sell,
that's right, we
would come in and put in white cabinets, and we would tell you like it, because we're renovating to sell, not. And that leads me into the next thing I was just going to talk about. I hear it all the time, and they say, well, I just don't like that. And, what I would say, if you're listening to this and you're thinking about or contemplating, man, should I renovate my home to get it sold faster and for more money? Here's the thing. If you bring in the right people, just listen to them. Trust them, because at the end of the day, you're not renovating this home for you to stay and live in. You're renovating this home to get it sold. So even though and that's what I want to get at, I'm not a huge fan of white cabinets. I know it sells. Mm-hmm. I know they sell. I know certain specific colors right now sell. We're moving, I think, more and more away from the beige box mentality, unless it's really in like a development area. But, I have to agree. So that leads me to my next question. How do people get started? How do they find an agent? How do they find a contractor that's going to get them to the promised land, which is a renovated home, so it can sell for more and sell faster? Well, I think what's important is to, do your search carefully, interview a couple of people. There are very many agents that are very good at this sort of thing, at analyzing the market for what's really selling. They follow the trends. And they're good at least providing a reasonable estimate of costs. I mean, of course, and I always caveat to my sellers, I'm not a contractor. I know a lot of contractors. I work with them. I flipped homes, but I'm not a contractor at the end of the day. You can't quote me on these prices. We'll bring in the contractor when you're ready. But on the flip side of that, there are a lot of agents that have absolutely no clue about those sorts of things. It just isn't what they specialize in. They don't follow what really sells. They just sort of show up and do agent things. So you need to ensure that if you're going to start with your agent, you need to ensure that you're starting with an agent that understands those things. Now, it may also potentially be the case. Okay, I don't mean to cut you off, but maybe I'm anti-agent. So anybody that knows me, yes, I'm a real estate agent, but at my heart, right? Everybody's already giggling here. In my heart, I'm a real estate investor, and I did not want to get my real estate license. However, I did, because my wife made me. And on top of making me get it, it was just the right thing to do for how we were building our business at the time. And but the reason why I don't like real estate agents, I think most real estate agents, I'm not saying they're scummy. I'm just saying that either they're ignorant of a lot of things, or they just are greedy. And mm-hmm. I know that maybe sounds awful, but I deeply believe that. So I hear what you're saying. But this is my guess, and I could be wrong, and I'm sure somebody will send me hate mail after this, but a real estate agent walks in, and they're going to say right away, yeah, I was thinking about renovating my house to sell it. Oh, well, I specialize in that. Yet they've probably never, ever renovated a home. So you got to give me something better than just interview a few people and then, you just pick one. There has to be a better way to find out if somebody performs or not. Well, word of mouth, of course, is huge. Word of mouth in your local individual market. Google, there's Yelp, there's social media. And, what's interesting is I think that this is a relatively new way of doing real estate for agents, and so they tend to take their their work and consider it kind of their portfolio, and it tends to be out there on social media. So that's another.
Micah, do you think this is new? Do you think this is new?
Well, I'm not a big on like.
I don't want to start a debate.
Advertisement.
But,
I mean, I'm big off referrals. I think referrals and word of mouth is one of the biggest things.
But do you think where we are right now in this market is new? Because I have my opinion on this. I'd love to know what you guys think.
I think you're kind of right in a way with, the feelings that you kind of have. It's, it's kind of a dog eat dog.
New within the last decade.
Yeah,
when HGTV really became this religion, and Pinterest and all these other things.
So let me tell you the big reason why I ended up getting my real estate agent license, right, to become a realtor. The market changed, especially here in San Diego. The market changed. Everybody knows, if you're a real estate investor, the San Diego market is first to rise and first to fall in the nation. It just always has been. And when I started seeing the way the market was adjusting and changing, I saw opportunity. I knew it was going to get harder and harder to find, deals for me to personally buy in cash off market and then renovate to sell. I just knew it was going to get harder. And it really is. I mean, right now, if you're not really a wholesaler or somebody that goes out and spends your job doing that, it's tough. It's tough to come up property. You can't show up to auctions that often anymore and say, oh, I'm going to make a killing. So I saw an opportunity. I knew people weren't going to have to sell, even if their home is just complete garbage. They can put the house on the open market and just have a food fight and drive the price well over what investors normally would pay because there's no inventory. So I saw that opportunity, and that's why I think real estate agents coming in and taking the time to give direction, design, and bring in, or introduce clients to different affiliates and different contractors renovate their home. I think that is a new way ahead for this market, and that's what we wanted to take advantage of. And it sounds awful to say take advantage, but we knew this is where the market was going to go. I think it's fantastic for homeowners. I think it's fantastic. But the challenge is now every real estate agent, in my opinion, thinks they're a renovation specialist. They just show up and like, oh, yeah, we'll do this paint, we'll do that, and we'll just knock it down. And so I believe that it's probably over the last year and a half that I've seen it predominantly in this market. Predominantly. So, I mean, what do you guys agree?
I agree with you on that one for sure. Only because they haven't worked the field, like we have. I've been out in the field for almost 15 years. I've seen it. I've done it. So I've seen a lot of real estate agents come in and think that they can flip a house for, 10 to 20,000 and said and done. They get into these projects and sure enough, they're at like 60 to 80,000 said and done. And they went about it the whole wrong way. They've obviously watched way too much DIY.
Yeah, the TV shows, and we don't have an hour to talk about that. I have quite a few friends that have their own TV shows, and what you see is not
not what really happens.
Not what's really happening, or how it always blows my mind. It's like, oh no, we just realized we have a cracked foundation. Well, you know what? Let's just pull up this piece of cardboard. We'll draw how we're going to redesign the whole house, and it'll just work. And I'm like, no, man, that it absolutely does not happen that way. But it is what it is. All right. So as usual, we got to pay the bills. We're going to go into some commercials real quick. When we come back, I really want to start getting a little bit deeper into the nuts and bolts of this thing. And I think we talked a lot of good stuff, but there's still so much to talk about. Oh, I wish this was a 2-hour show. All right, San Diego, here we are, ESPN 1700, KSA Insider. We'll be right back.
Alliance Escrow, the most reliable and hardworking escrow team in San Diego. Buying, selling, or refinancing a home can be a stressful event, and our friendly staff here at Alliance is ready to make your home buying or selling process as smooth as possible. We strive for outstanding customer service and are very dedicated to giving top quality service to each and every sale. Alliance Escrow will provide a special discount to active and reserve service members and disabled or retired veterans as well. Whether it's residential, commercial, bulk business, or refinance, call Alliance Escrow today and let us help you close your deal as seamlessly as possible. Call 619-609-0015 or go to www.allianceescrowinc.com today. That's 619-609-0015 or www.allianceescrowinc.com. Alliance Escrow, your partners in real estate
Ty Court Title of San Diego is the next generation of title companies. They offer their clients the most complete real estate services in the nation. They have 4 convenient locations in the greater San Diego area to service all your residential and commercial transactions. Ty Court Title of San Diego offers you title and escrow solutions. Whether you are buying, selling, or refinancing, they have you covered. With over a century of experience, you can count on Ty Court Title of San Diego. They have a solid history of servicing customers with high integrity, white glove service, and value. They also have unrivaled financial strength to back your policies. For all your real estate transactions, call Ty Court Title of San Diego today at 619-260-5200.
Just last year, 429 million people had their identity stolen as a result of data breaches. Face it, your personal information is out there waiting to be hijacked. Identity theft not only damages your reputation, but costs you thousands of dollars while taking you years to resolve. Why take a chance? ID Cyber Center monitors and protects your bank and credit card accounts, social security number, and even your social media. If your ID is stolen, ID Cyber Center recovers your identity so you can live your life with ease. In today's virtual world, not having identity monitoring, protection, and recovery is like driving without auto insurance. Visit idcybercenter.com to learn more. Again, that's idcybercenter.com or call them at 855-829-6097. Remember, it's not just your identity, it's your life.
This is John Feinstein with a CBS Sports Minute. If fatigue makes cowards of us all, then anonymity certainly makes a lot of cowards brave. According to Mike Freeman of Bleacher Report, several NFL executives have been quite blunt in their assessment of Colin Kaepernick's national anthem protest. One called him a traitor. Another said, blank that guy. And yet another said he would resign if his owner tried to sign him. None of these tough guys was willing to be quoted by name. There's a separate issue here on whether we in the media should allow cowards like this to hide behind anonymity. If you want to call a guy names, you should stand behind what you're saying. It has also been fascinating to see quite a few military members publicly say that one reason they fought overseas is so that people like Kaepernick can be free to do what he did. It figures that those who are truly brave have no problem putting their names behind their opinions. I'm John Feinstein.
CBS Sports Radio. O'Reilly.
It's O-Rewards Member Appreciation Month. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up 5 quarts of O'Reilly High Mileage Motor Oil and a MicroGuard filter for $19.99, plus earn double points. Extend the life of your vehicle with the O'Reilly Oil and Filter Special at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Top appliance brands like GE, Samsung, and LG have a brand new home. JCPenney now sells major appliances in select stores and on jcp.com. From washing machines and dryers to refrigerators and more. Save up to 30% plus get 30-month special financing on purchases of $7.99 or more after discounts with your JCPenney credit card. You'll also get free delivery and basic installation on purchases over $2.99. Hurry in now or go to jcp.com/appliances for details. That's getting your pennies worth. JCPenney. Subject to credit approval, must request at time of purchase. See store associate for details. Available in select stores. Financing terms valid 8/24 to 9/14.
All right, we are back. KSA Insider with Chris McCullough. We're here at the ESPN studios, and we're going to jump right back into it. We heard from Kim. We talked about how to find a good real estate agent. And now we're going to basically get with Mike over here. Micah, what would you recommend to somebody if they want to find a good contractor to actually help them renovate their home?
Well, just like we were talking about earlier, it goes hand in hand with anyone. Anyone can have the website look as good as possible, be the biggest, the best, but they still might not be on top or as good as you really think they were. Word of mouth's a big thing, but like we were just talking about, you want to see like portfolios, like we were just saying, deals that you've actually worked one-on-one with the real estate agents till closing, testimonials, anything like that really helps. I mean, anybody can have a website and.
Yeah, I see that all the time.
They can have fake reviews on there, fake anything. But I mean, when they see you working one-on-one with groups, really, like I work with you guys, and we've seen the jobs that we've done and turned around, and how quick they've sold and gone off into the market. And I think that helps. Is word of mouth is a big thing, and multiple reviews.
Yeah, I think you hit a big one. I see it all the time. There's one in particular, I just happened to stumble upon it. Somebody, I think it was on Facebook. Yeah, I'm a real estate agent. I renovate homes. I got a crew, this and the other. And, you see the website and it looks pretty fantastic, but I'm me. So I look up their VRE number, right? I look up their VRE number, and it turns out they've been an agent for 2 years, and they've literally turned 4 total homes. They've only sold 4 homes. So it's kind of like that to me, that's false advertising. That's my personal opinion. So, okay, so let's say they even renovated and sold those 4 homes. I don't think that's a good quality running portfolio. So it's unfortunate, but buyer beware at the end of the day. You just have to do some research, ask to show me. So you say, oh, I was working with this one client. Show me. Let's see some pictures. Let's see what you did. It's an interview either way.
Yeah. I mean, keep track of all your, biggest jobs, your reputable ones that mean a lot. I mean, we've done some big jobs for some of the biggest companies. I mean, restaurants and build outs, for biggest, like Circa, the biggest shoe company out there. And we just have a good niche inside because, me and my partner Isaac have been around, and we've been in, Vista, my whole life. I've been 29 years, and my dad was a builder, and we work for some of the biggest developers around. Yeah. And, we have a name known for ourselves. And so we're not very big on, websites or this and that. I mean, like I said, all of our work is a lot of word of mouth and what we can bring to the table as far as what we show for and and who we know.
Right on. So I guess with everything that we just sort of talked about, this is a true question, and unfortunately, I think I'm going to hear what the sad part of it. Do people get taken advantage of? I mean, when they look to renovate their home and they're trying to find a real estate agent or a good contractor, do people get taken advantage of?
Absolutely. Like I was saying on the break, I'm a person who likes to, sometimes to my detriment, maybe give the benefit of the doubt. I see a lot of failed deals all the time. I get a lot of business from failed deals all the time. And I like to look at the situation, and I think that 50 to 70% of the time, it's not due to any ill intent or any intent to deceive anybody or rip anybody off. I think that a lot of times professionals in every profession bite off more than they can chew. They overtalk themselves to get the job because they're trying to grow their business like everybody else. And they then turns out that they can't necessarily handle that project, or they took on too many projects. But the end result's the same for the seller. They're sitting there with their walls pulled apart or house on the market that's not selling for whatever reason. And so it of course there are those people out there that will intentionally take advantage. And we hear those horror stories too.
I agree with you. I think on the real estate agent side, most agents don't intentionally go and take advantage of people that are looking to renovate or sell their home. However, I think there are a few. I think it's actually less on the real estate agent side as opposed to the contractor side. I think the contractor side, I've seen more people get taken advantage by contractors than have real estate agents.
Because of the payment model. I mean, real estate agent doesn't get paid until the escrow closes. So it's in their best interest to get that thing done to the best of their possible ability and get that escrow closed.
Plus, real estate agents can be fired at any given time.
Exactly. A contractor, and I know you're getting ready to talk about the payment model a little bit. There's a lot more money that's already being exchanged at the onset of the project that, an unscrupulous person might be tempted to just sort of
because I've heard that all the time. The guy, I paid him, and then he did, he ripped off the baseboards and started painting them, and then he just disappeared. I haven't seen him in weeks. And it happens. And it's unfortunate. So what do you think? Do you think it's, I don't want to say it's predominant, because I don't think it's predominant, but I know it happens. It happens on both sides. I think on the real estate agent side, when I see it, where agents are taking advantage of people, it's more because they're building in other interests, like I don't think I could talk about that. When it's in their interest in the sense of, oh, well, I'll buy your house. But if I'm going to buy your house, it needs to be at this price, right? And I've seen that, and I think that's where people can get taken advantage of. But on the contractor side, I think I agree that there's just more opportunity if you have a really crummy contractor.
Definitely, and this is, attention on me now as the contractor. So it happens all over. I've heard horror stories about things like that happening. You sign up and you just want all your paperwork in line, and we as a contractor, we have a lot of laws that back us up as well, and we are protected. We're pretty highly protected when it comes to situations like that. But a homeowner can also protect themselves just as much by making sure that you do all the right paperwork and contract agreements. Can
you talk about that?
With completion dates and so forth. I mean, you never want to give, we typically do thirds. So, we do like a start payment, a mid-phase, like a partial, and then we'll finish the job and then get a closing payment, right, which is the best way for a homeowner to secure their money, to make sure that it's not going to get taken and ran away with.
Right. What kind of paperwork should people look towards for a quality contractor?
You would probably want to see like a 10-page plus contract. With many different points, change orders, anything on there. I'm a
change orders are huge.
So
talk about change orders.
I've, like I said, I've definitely in time learned my lesson. I've done some, things where I should have protected myself better because I've gotten taken advantage of before with homeowners and so forth.
That happens all the time. A lot of homeowners will actually take, and I think they're doing it unknowingly almost. Some of them are doing it unknowingly.
Some know what they're doing.
Some know what they're doing.
They have the intentions of knowing what they're doing, and just because you get a good feeling and a good vibe that you're vibing with someone like that, and it's like, I don't have to go too extreme on this contract, or I feel pretty good with this guy, or this couple or homeowners. So you just want to make sure, no matter what, friend, family, anything, always just take the right precaution with contracts and completion dates and so forth, because all those things are going to stand in court. As for I take start videos from day one, everyday footage of things we've done, things that I've noticed that are already broken, or things that we're not even having anything to do with. I'll take pictures of it, record it, document it, keep it all, because you get a lot of people out there that will come back at you and try and blame you for something that you didn't even do. But when you got proof and evidence right there to bring up, it's like, nope, sorry.
So let's talk about that. So as a contractor, if you were in, whoever's listening on here, you're in their shoes, I want to renovate my home to get it sold, sell it fast, get the most money. Red flags. What would be red flags if you had somebody come in to interview for the job to actually do the renovation?
Showing up is number one. I mean, getting there on the date and actually performing. It's hard to say. We're pretty. We stay on it. We make mistakes. We all do. It's construction. Yeah. It's so unforeseen.
Let's talk about truths. That's what we're here for.
The red flags would probably be, you could kind of just see it. You could tell it, kind of like a joke when you see one. If he shows up with, you got a $100,000 renovation and he shows up 2 guys deep, there's a red flag that this guy obviously
with that right
he's
now.
Hurting. He needs the money, and he like you said earlier, he talked himself up to get the job, and really he has no manpower to even do the job. And production rate, you should be able to see a lot of, you should be able to go in with, a real crew, and you should be able to gut a house close to, in about a day or two.
Right.
Completely.
Right. What about numbers? If to me, that's always a red flag. When I have somebody come in and they start spouting off what I consider just unrealistic numbers. Oh yeah, this full kitchen, I could do it for $3,000. What?
Yeah, I've heard stories. People spend $40,000 to $50,000 on these kitchens.
Well, because I think they end up getting upsold almost.
And they're usually just straight out of like Home Depot or Lowe's kitchens.
Right.
There's so much you can do with a remodel in a kitchen that there's low end to high end. It's endless. You can easily have a base kitchen bandage remodel for $5,000, and the kitchen remodel can go all the way up to the sky's the limit almost with material and design and what you want to do with it.
Right.
But with us, we stick to a base on these flip homes because we got to know what's going to sell and what's not going to go over budget. So you can't take an old house and turn it into the Taj Mahal.
Right.
You got to look at
it. It's only worth what it's worth.
You got to see the comps and what like Kim said. You got your base, your mid, and you got your upscale to get the most value, but a lot of people don't have the funds to flip their house like that.
Absolutely. Kim, red flags. If somebody's talking to a real estate agent shows up to interview and they're interviewing to assist them, because real estate agents don't do the remodel. They assist homeowners with connecting them with people that will do the work.
Right.
So what are the red flags?
Well, like Micah said, the first one is, did they show up? Did they answer their phone? That is, I think, one of the biggest things in our industry.
I almost want to put that on my card sometimes.
My mind.
I will call you back.
I answer my phone. I know if that was my tagline.
We'll answer.
But, I think as far as red flags, you hit it on the head with the word that you used and the word that we always use. It's an interview. It's an interview. Now, we always say, we're interviewing them too. I only want to work with people I know I can communicate with well, that are realistic, etc. But they are interviewing me, and I want them to ask me, and I want them to ask any agent they're talking to. Biggest one is market knowledge. Don't be afraid to get really, really specific, because they should have an overall picture of that market that they're working in their head at any given time. Sure, there are certain things that I'll say, I'd like to go back and look that up and get a deeper view for you, but they should have an overall pretty decent picture of that market in their head. Mm-hmm. So pick at their brain and ask market questions. 2, when you're signing the listing contract, go down that contract and ask questions. If people can't, if you have an agent in front of you, this is what they're licensed to do. And that's a whole nother show, is raising the bar to enter this industry, because so many people are so incredibly poor at it. They're licensed, and that is a legal document. It's borderline practicing law, what we're doing here. And go through that contract and ask questions about it, just like you would with a contractor that's going to do a build. Ask questions about it. Ask, what's this phrase mean? What's that paragraph mean? What am I really initialing here? Show me where it talks about commission. Show me where it talks about, your protection clause after the expiration, should it expire. If an agent can't readily point you to the section of the contract that talks about the specific thing you're asking about, then that's a huge red flag. They should know that contract in and out. It either means they're not doing enough business, or they're not, they're just throwing paper around at people and not really having an understanding of what it means to that homeowner legally. Right. Okay. Well, you know what? We're about at that time again. It's crazy. It's so, it happens so fast. We're in here. We're just, completely vibing away on some great content. And these the hour's almost gone. It blows my mind. I almost feel like on this topic alone, we could sit in here for 3 hours. 3 hours and just talk about it, because it's, I just think it's absolutely stuff that people need to hear. If people are thinking about buying or selling a home, if they're thinking about selling a home and renovating a home to get the most money possible, it's just good stuff. So let's go ahead and take a quick break, get some commercials in, pay the bills, and we will be back.
Tycor Title of San Diego is the next generation of title companies. They offer their clients the most complete real estate services in the nation. They have 4 convenient locations in the greater San Diego area to service all your residential and commercial transactions. Tycor Title of San Diego offers you title and escrow solutions. Whether you are buying, selling, or refinancing, they have you covered. With over a century of experience, you can count on Tycor Title of San Diego. They have a solid history of servicing customers with high integrity, white glove service, and value. They also have unrivaled financial strength to back your policies. For all your real estate transactions, call Tycor Title of San Diego today at 619-260-5200.
Alliance Escrow, the most reliable and hardworking escrow team in San Diego. Buying, selling, or refinancing a home can be a stressful event, and our friendly staff here at Alliance is ready to make your home buying or selling process as smooth as possible. We strive for outstanding customer service and are very dedicated to giving top quality service to each and every sale. Alliance Escrow will provide a special discount to active and reserve service members and disabled or retired veterans as well. Whether it's residential, commercial, bulk business, or refinance, call Alliance Escrow today and let us help you close your deal as seamlessly as possible. Call 619-609-0015 or go to www.allianceescrowinc.com today. That's 619-609-0015 or www.allianceescrowinc.com. Alliance Escrow, your partners in real estate.
Hi, I'm Philippe Heller with the Real Estate Inspection Company. When buying real estate today, it's more important than ever to have a thorough home inspection to protect yourself. When quality and experience count, contact the Real Estate Inspection Company. We're the largest home inspection company serving San Diego for 10 years. After checking hundreds of items throughout a house, we provide a detailed, computer-generated inspection report. And we use the newest and best infrared thermal imaging at every inspection 7 days a week. Check us out at sdinspect.com. That's sdinspect.com.
A Wendy's Frosty is something special. And for a limited time, a Frosty is just 50 cents. An American classic for a classic price. It's not quite a milkshake, not quite an ice cream cone. It's definitely chocolate. or vanilla. That choice is on you. Use a spoon or a French fry. Anything goes. A Frosty makes summer special. Yep, there's nothing quite like a Frosty. And there's nothing quite like this deal. A Frosty for 50 cents. Get yours before this deal melts away. Small Frosty at participating Wendy's for a limited time.
Progressive presents Mindfulness with Flow.
You feel yourself getting lighter with each Progressive discount. Paperless, safe driver, multi-car. Yes, lighter, like a new line of sneakers. Or a slugger on a crash diet the week before spring training. Stay away from the cheesecake.
Ascend to a higher plane of insurance with Progressive. Visit Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Go to Fuller Honda, where they exceed your expectations from test drive to delivery. Their professional sales team is committed to a no-pressure, high-integrity approach to your ownership experience. Best of all, the new Honda lineup features some of the best fuel economy on the market, along with contemporary styling at affordable prices. The Fuller family has been servicing San Diegans' automotive needs for over 60 years. Fuller Honda, exit Auto Park Drive off the 805 freeway in the Chula Vista Auto Park.
All right, we are back. KSA Insider, I'm here at the ESPN studio. This is Chris, and we're pretty much buttoning this thing up. I can't believe the hour has already passed. So I just want to thank you all so much for joining me today and helping shed some light on this subject. With the present state of real estate right now in San Diego, I think renovating a home prior to selling it is an amazing option that should absolutely be explored by every homeowner before they list and sell their home. It's not for everyone. It just is what it is. But there's always something that could be done to either make the house sell faster or make it sell for more money. So what I want to do is say, before we get off the air, I think both of you are fantastic. I want to find out how people can get a hold of you, because you're a great real estate agent. You do a ton of remodel work. You're a great contractor. You do a ton of remodel work. So, Micah, how can people get a hold of you?
Well, being that we are big word of mouth, but as of right now, we have our website being up and worked on. But here in the next couple of weeks, we'll be at www.lhconstructionsd.com. As for right now, if you want to reach out by email, my email is Micah, MICAH12@gmail.com, and you can reach out to me by my direct cell phone business line at 760-415-0319.
Awesome, Kim.
Yes, please do search us out on Facebook at Kim Steele and Associates, or Instagram at Kim Steele and Associates. Also, we are in the friendly village of Fallbrook. You can even swing by and see us, or give us a call at our office, 760-451-6318. If you really want to go in and see our beautiful portfolio of homes, you can also check out our YouTube channel, Kim Steele and Associates.
Right on. And I guess, what I would say is thank you. Thank you, both of you for coming in, and to the people listening, thank you for listening. We hope we gave you some good value and some good content for you to really chew on and think about if you're thinking about buying or selling a home. And if you want more questions, or like, to ask me, it may be a future show. You're like, Chris, I want to know about this. The whole point of KSI Insider is that our goal is to really give you content and information to either protect you from people that could take advantage of you when you're looking to buy or sell a home, or just, what will get you the most money or get it sold fast in this market, this wild market of San Diego. So if you do want to reach out to me, you can send me an email. It's Chris with a K, K-R-I-S. My mother loved Chris Christopherson, so it's actually Christoph, but it's Chris, K-R-I-S, at KSADreamhomes.com, or you can find me on, I'm a huge Facebook fan. I'm addicted to Facebook. It's at KSA Chris, K-R-I-S. And send me your questions, send me your show ideas. Would absolutely love to hear from you and get any input you have. Your number one, real quick for both of you, number one recommendation for people that are looking to sell their home. Micah, go.
Well, I think you want to get in touch with the real estate agent first, because and finding out your budget, because you want to know what Kim said earlier, your lowest to your highest comps. So that's big, and finding out the homeowner's budget to see what they want to play with. And as we said earlier, we can even go in and do construction financing for the homeowners, depending on what kind of equity they have in their home.
Right. Awesome. Kim.
Absolutely agree. Number one thing you can do, just like a flipper would do, work your numbers. What's your ARV, your after renovation value? What's your as is? What's your budget?
Wonderful. And I think my number one recommendation I would give somebody that's thinking about renovating a home, just do your research. I mean, really look, and when I say research, I'm not talking about Zillow. However, I will tell you, Zillow does help on occasion. Do your research. Really vet out everybody that you want to work with, whether they're a real estate agent. Ask them what their BRE number is. Look it up. See if they perform. If it's contractor, same thing. You can look up their license and see how they performed. And, just make sure you're getting the most bang for your buck. Because at the end of the day, it really is. Everybody that's buying or selling a home, you're either opening or closing a chapter or doing a combination of both. So I think it's really important that you really don't rush into it. Take your time unless you have to rush into it. And if you have to, you know what? Get aggressive, get focused, do that research, and just make sure you're making the right decisions. So anyways, with all that said, thank you very much, San Diego. We hope you're having a great Labor Day out there. Thank you for listening. And again, I'm Chris McCullough, and this is KSA Insider on ESPN 1700. We will be talking to you again next Monday, same time.